Thanks for joining us for this month's Northwest Vision. I'm Karen Rue, Superintendent of Schools for Northwest ISD. As you know, the state's financial crisis will have a significant impact on funding for public schools as a result of the state's financial shortfall. It's estimated that we'll need to reduce our district budget by as much as $27 million. Keeping kids first, preserving the quality of education, and maintaining excellence in our school system is our top priority. With me today is NISD Board of Trustees President Mark Schluter. Mr. Schluter, thank you for joining us today. As we've worked to develop a budget in response to the Texas budget shortfall, how has NISD responded to the cuts that will be coming our way?
I have to first preface my remarks with I'm so proud of what our students and the accomplishments that they've had. I've been in the school district since 1961 when I entered first grade, and I've been amazed and so impressed with the students that we have, the many awards that they have received, as well as the great renown that they've brought our district. So I'm proud of our students, but as you know, not because of any issues of our own, we've been asked to cut our budget. So as we go into the budget process, some of the first things we do is, of course, to spread public information. So by doing that, as you know, we had a meeting back in January. We had a public forum. We asked all the citizens to come out, those that were concerned, to talk about what our issues were. And that was one of our first steps in our process, was to identify the problem and begin to make those aware around us that are impacted by these. Of course, those that are impacted most of all are our students. As you know, our kids come first, and we hold to that motto in everything we say and do, and how we establish budget, strategic plans, and priorities are all based on how we impact kids. So we want them to succeed not only while they're here at Northwest ISD, but also in life as they leave. So we'll continue to have those public forums. As administrators, you know, you've been busy scrubbing the budget, telling us where the most likely cuts could be. And as a board, we'll consider those and, of course, look at those, first of all, how we impact operations, and second of all, how they impact kids, because that's what we do not want to do.
Well, thank you. Will we be needing to lay teachers off as a result of this budget shortfall?
Thankfully, no. And as you've probably seen around the state, there are a lot of school districts that are looking at removing teachers, laying them off, or offering them some incentives to leave early. So we at Northwest, we grow about 1,450 students a year. So we're looking at how we bring those students in and staff them with existing teachers that we have. So there may be some moving of teachers, but definitely not laying any teachers off.
We have identified at this point about $10 million in possible budget reductions. Where do these budget reductions impact the district, and in what way might we find that they would cut into our programs for kids?
As you know, we've talked about two different tiers of cuts. The first tier that we've looked at, basically scrub the budget, is to look at operating procedures. We've cut about $10 million out of some initial review of those processes. And the second, of course, is education. We don't want to cut anything in education, but if we must, we've got to look at what programs are successful, what programs our students enjoy and want to be part of. And so we'll have to make that balance at some point in time, how we do that. So the first $10 million, not as easy, but easy enough to palate. The second $10 million will be much tougher, and hopefully we won't have to get into that, depending on how the legislature actually comes in and prorates that.
And that's possible. Is it possible that the district might use some of its fund balance to transition into a new budget reality?
Right. Our fund balance is mainly used to start up new schools and to handle any emergencies that might come along. So we do have an adequate fund balance that we could take some of those funds and offset it with those operational cuts that we've already talked about.
Oh, well, thank you. Now, what can the community do? How can they be a part of this?
Well, it is a democratic society that we live in. So first of all, as board members, we must make sure that they are aware of what the problems are, where we're looking at cuts, and getting their support. But second of all, is they all have a voice in our state government. So if you have local legislators that you know and have a personal relationship with, or if you don't, email them, call them on the phone, contact them any way that you can to try to get support for continued support of the budget.
Northwest ISD will host 4 community forums during the month of April. These community forums are designed to keep you informed, to share the budget reductions, and to seek your feedback from parents and community members. We hope you have become familiar with the resources our district has to offer regarding school finance. You can visit our website at nisdtx.org Financial Forum. There you can learn more about the structural deficit within the state of Texas and its impact on Northwest ISD. Thank you for joining me today. We'll see you next time.